Hello, and welcome to the module on Individual Plan of Study. With the invention of the Global Positioning System, GPS for short, the paper map has become a thing of the past. Instead of wrestling with a large fold-out map as we're speeding down the highway, today we simply plug in an address and the GPS leads us to our desired destination. And if we prefer not to take the suggested route, the GPS provides us with options. In many ways, an Individual Plan of Study, also known as an IPS, is like a GPS. It's a tool students can use to plot a course that will lead them to their destination. However, an IPS allows for something a GPS often doesn't. Students are able to define their own idea of success and build a plan to get there instead of having their destination selected for them. Today's job market requires employees to have a higher level of education than ever before. In fact, by 2020, the Georgetown Center for Education and the Workforce predicts that more than 70% of the jobs in Kansas will require a post-secondary credential in addition to a high school diploma. 70%! So what does that mean for the student who doesn't graduate, or who doesn't earn a post-secondary credential of some sort? The likelihood of those students ever making it into at least the middle class becomes slim at best. So why an individual plan of study? To lead the world in the success of each student must be able to identify what success looks like for him or her. The IPS is the tool and process designed to do just that. It helps students, beginning in middle school, and their families build a plan that will help that student identify and explore talents and interests. A lack of planning has derailed many people and projects over the years. Our students are no different. Extensive planning is critical to the success of any worthy endeavor. In some cases, a student who graduates high school and doesn't immediately enter college may be better off than a student who goes straight into college with no plan and drops out before graduating. That student now has no degree and is saddled with debt. Think about how different that outcome would be with the right plan in place. To recap, an IPS is a product developed and maintained by the student, beginning in the middle grades. A process adopted by the school to assist the student in developing a meaningful IPS. A means for a school to personalize learning for each student. Let's talk for a moment about the components of an effective IPS. First, a good IPS will help students identify talents and interests related to broader career fields through the use of multiple interest inventories. Over time, patterns will begin to emerge, which creates an opportunity for dialogue and exploration. Students and parents should meet with school professionals at least 2 times a year to review the student's IPS and make adjustments. Next, a list of all high school courses mapped according to career interest areas. This helps the student identify and select courses needed for particular career areas. In essence, providing them with the opportunity to try before you buy. Chances are, if you don't like science, veterinary science may not be the most rewarding career option for you, no matter how much you love animals. An effective IPS should include a post-secondary plan. Now I know what you're thinking. A post-secondary plan for a middle schooler? They change their minds as often as they change their moods. It's never too early to start exploring all the options for post-secondary education. Not all careers require a 4-year degree. Some may require a 2-year degree, while others may require the completion of a certification. Understanding requirements helps students and parents make better informed decisions. Finally, an effective IPS will include an electronic portfolio that includes the student's projects, assessments, resume, job shadow summaries, etc. Students are then ready to share their best work with prospective colleges and employers. So we've talked about what an IPS is. Now it's time to talk about what it isn't. An IPS is not meant to track students into certain educational paths aligned with certain careers. It's also not meant to culminate with an 18-year-old making a career decision. It's simply a tool and process for the student to chart his or her unique path by exploring or trying on careers in a more authentic manner. Just as important as identifying areas of interest, the IPS process also helps students identify career areas that do not interest them, helping to narrow down the field when they're ready to make post-secondary plans. Want to learn more about individual plans of study? Or trainings taking place in your area? Visit the KSDE website at www.ksde.org. Thank you for your time and attention to this module on individual plans of study.